Here we go, part 2 of my top 10 activities that aren't sports. Slight swear warning here because I'm probably going to curse a few times while I'm doing this part of the list. Alright, number 5 is horse racing. Why do people care so much about this activity? But I don't even know if I could call it a game. I mean, you have people who are kind of upper class go, it's the elegance of this sport of horse racing. We don't even have to do anything. It's like, come on. There's no real physical ability to this, in a sense that you're basically learning how to ride a horse. That's it. I mean, cowboys know how to ride horses. Does that mean they can join the Kentucky Derby or whatever other derbies there are? They can join the horse racing? I mean, the horse is doing all the work here. It's not like in track and field, or you know, like Usain Bolt is an athlete and he's freaking fast, and he's always the one practicing and getting his body up to par to be able to run as fast as he can. But with horse racing, the jockey is just holding on and going for a ride while the horse is doing all the work. Some of you may be saying, oh, that's kind of a simplistic way of looking at it. Yeah, it kind of is, but there's no real human element to this. It's the horse, again, doing the work. Some of you say, well, it takes a lot of lower body strength to hold on to the horse so you don't get thrown off. Yeah, I rode a carabao when I was in the Philippines. It does take some lower body strength, but that's not enough to say that this is a sport. I mean, freaking bull riding would probably take more lower body strength than this, and I don't know if I would consider that a sport either. And most people only watch that to see somebody get gored. I'm not going to say another activity, but we'll save that for later. But at least there's some sort of physical acumen, I guess you could say, to horse racing. Not true of number 4 on my list, which is dressage. And some of you wondering, what the fuck is dressage? In layman's terms, dressage, and yes, I'll always say it like that because I enjoy mocking it, is horse dancing. Horse dancing. Ugh. Yeah, and this is in the Olympics, for God's sake. It's in the Olympics. And I didn't know what this was until 2012 when they're doing a little feature about Mitt Romney and his wife. And I found out that Mitt Romney's wife did dressage. And all I could see is, that is some stupid shit right there. Yeah, I thought it was stupid as hell. It made no sense. You're forcing these animals to dance. At least with freaking horse racing, they run naturally, and all you're doing is guiding them in a certain way. With dressage, you're forcing them to do something that's not natural for them, and it's basically animal cruelty, the Olympic event. It's ridiculous. And it's not a sport, because there's no way that you're actually doing anything physical. Mentally, this is manipulation, if anything, making this horse doing something that doesn't come natural to it and making it do something it probably doesn't want to do either. And for those of you wondering, I'm not some, big animal rights activist. I eat meat, and I eat pork, beef, whatever type of meat that I can get my hands on, except for that kind. I know what you're talking about, you pervs. But at least with, like I said, horse racing, there's something physical the rider's doing. With dressage, there's nothing, and it's meaningless, to be thrown out of the Olympics. Speaking of the Olympics, here's another thing that calls itself a sport that should be taken out. Curling. Yes, number 3 is curling. What is this crap? All you're doing is taking shuffleboard, putting it on ice, and adding 2 other people to help you move that stupid ass thing across the ice. For those who don't know what curling is, here's the event. One guy, let's call them all idiots, because I enjoy doing that sometimes. But one guy grabs this iron with a rounded bottom, because that's basically what it looks like, throws it while two guys with brooms sweep the ice in front of it in order to make it go into a freaking bullseye. That's what I'm saying. Well, there's some physicality because they gotta be sweeping the ice. That's some... No. You're using a freaking push broom that that janitors use to clean schools and other buildings. You know, that doesn't make it a sport. This is ridiculous. There's no reason for this to be in the Olympics. This and dressage should be thrown out of the Olympics and keep wrestling in, because there was a time people were saying, well, maybe we should get rid of wrestling in the Olympics. No, get rid of dressage and freaking curling. There's no... What? Besides, the two people who are guiding it are doing all the work. The guy throwing it could almost just close his eyes like this and just throw it like that and make the other two, if you really want to be a troll about it, make them do all the work. This is ridiculous. As bad as those are, they aren't as bad as number 2, golf. I fucking hate golf. It is boring as hell. There's not a lot of physical activity. If most of the physical, like some people told me, well, there's a lot of walking to it. They gotta walk all those hundreds of yards to get to their ball. If most of your physicality comes from walking to where you hit your ball, that can't exactly be a sport. I mean, look at football. Football, these guys are clashing against each other, trying to make sure that one team can score a goal, score a touchdown, or one team tries to stop them. I said goal. That's rugby. Sorry about that. But rugby the same. They're clashing against each other. Baseball, again, there's some sort of physical activity. You're supposed to run around the base, but also you got to hit the ball. There's a lot of running to the ball, throwing, catching. There's all sorts of stuff to it. Basketball, running back and forth, stamina-wise. This is not walking. There's at least running to it. I mean, nobody. And in some golf courses, they use golf carts. So there goes your walking. Who cares now? I mean, it's really, really stupid. And this is why Caddyshack and Happy Gilmore are not on my sports list, because golf is not a sport. Not to mention, it's boring. It is boring. This is boring, even more boring than baseball. And what is the mental acumen? What is the mental part of it? I think it went that way. I mean, when hit it this way, hit the ball this way into the wind. Come on, freaking putt-putt. The children's version of it, the more civilian version of it, is more entertaining, is a lot more fun, and it probably takes even more skill than regular golf. Because at least with putt-putt, there are obstacles in the way. You know, there are some holes that I played where there's a swinging line of cans that if you don't time the ball right, or if you don't hit it hard enough, the swing will knock the ball out of the way. Or you gotta hit into a small hill or a small mound, and then you gotta hit the ball over the mound and just hit it hard enough so that it'll fall into the middle of it but not go over. There's a lot more things you gotta worry about in putt-putt than you do in regular golf. So why the hell are we spending so much time and money on this stupid game that is elitist, takes up way too much space, and is just not even entertaining? I don't get it. It is really stupid. But as much as I just slag on golf and talk about how much I hate it and I think it's stupid, it's not number one. It's not number one. Number one is NASCAR. Oh shit, this sucks. This is NASCAR in a nutshell. For 3 hours. Yes, A NASCAR event lasts 3 hours. You are watching traffic for 3 hours. That is what you're watching. You are watching freaking traffic. I don't know why people give a shit about NASCAR. All it is rednecks watching other rednecks drive around in circles all day. And the only reason they're watching it is to see an accident. That's what they want. They want to see somebody crash into a wall. And then they can shed crocodile tears going, well, I hope you're okay, but not really. Yeah, what the fuck? There's no real mental part to this. So, oh, you gotta dodge other drivers. You do that when you're driving to work. That doesn't make you an athlete. Somebody say, whoa, you gotta hold your piss in for 3 hours while you're driving that car. That is actually an interesting question. Why the hell do they pee? I really don't. I never thought of that, but here's the thing though. People have to hold their piss for a lot longer than that sometimes. And sometimes you're on a long drive, you're going on a road trip, you gotta hold that piss for hours. That doesn't make what you do a sport. Come on. There's no way this could actually... Some people have said it in the past, oh, it's the fastest growing sport in the world. It's not a fucking sport. It's not even a game. At least with golf you could say it's a game. NASCAR is just a waste of time. Ugh. There's no reason anybody should try and put this as a sport. It should just be on CMT. For those of you who don't know, outside the US, CMT is a country music television. They also have other programs that are things related to being in the country, like Alabama, the countryside, the good old boy kind of a thing, like that. The stereotypical things like that. It should be, the NASCAR should be on that, because that's the majority of people who watch it. At least from when I knew people who watched it, that was the majority of them. Also, this should not be on ABC or any sort of channel that shows sports, because it's not a sport. The hell with NASCAR. Ugh. Ridiculous. So that's my list. Yeah, as you can see, I really despise NASCAR and golf. And curling for the most part. But yeah, that's my list. What do you think? What are some activities that people say are sports that aren't sports? Let me know in the comments. I might have one more video coming up on Sunday. Maybe not. Depends on how I'm feeling. I'm going to be busy for this week. So I don't know when the next video is going to come out. So until then, later.